Pressure is an unavoidable part of life. Whether it's a high-stakes decision, an unexpected challenge, or a moment where everything feels like it's on the line, how you respond in these situations defines your strength. Staying calm under pressure is not about avoiding stress altogether. It's about mastering the art of control. It's about training your mind to pause, breathe, and focus when chaos surrounds you. The first instinct in a stressful moment is often panic, but panicking clouds judgment. Instead, take a deep breath, step back, and assess the situation objectively. The problem is already there. Your job is to find the solution. By shifting your focus from fear to action, you put yourself in control. Remind yourself that pressure is not a threat, it's an opportunity to prove your capability. One of the biggest mistakes under pressure is overthinking. Your mind races, doubts creep in, and suddenly, the challenge seems bigger than it really is. Stay present. Focus on what you can do right now, not on what could go wrong. Use positive self-talk. Remind yourself that you have handled tough situations before and will do it again. The way you speak to yourself in critical moments shapes the outcome. Resilience is built through experience. The more you face pressure, the better you become at handling it. Every tough moment is preparing you for something greater. Keep things in perspective. This moment, no matter how big it feels, will pass. You have the strength, the mindset, and the ability to rise above. And when you do, you will not only have conquered the challenge, but you will have also mastered the power of staying calm under pressure. One of the biggest traps under pressure is overthinking. The mind can create 1,000 different scenarios, many of which may never happen. Overanalyzing a situation drains your energy and increases self-doubt. The best way to counter this is to stay present. Focus on what you can do right now instead of getting lost in worries about what could go wrong. The present moment is where action happens. And when you stay grounded in it, you take control of your emotions and choices. What you say to yourself in high-pressure moments determines your response. If your inner voice is filled with doubt and fear, pressure will feel heavier. But if you use positive self-talk, reminding yourself that you have overcome challenges before and will do it again, you shift the narrative in your favor. Words of power, even the ones you say to yourself. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," tell yourself, "I've got this." The mind believes what you tell it, so feed it confidence and strength. The ability to stay calm under pressure is built through experience. Every time you face a stressful situation, you are training yourself to handle the next one better. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you develop over time. The more challenges you face, the stronger you become. When you encounter pressure, remind yourself that this is just another moment preparing you for greater success in the future. Finally, always keep things in perspective. No matter how intense a situation feels, it will pass. The stress of today will be a lesson tomorrow. When pressure builds, remind yourself that this moment does not define your entire journey. Take a breath, focus on what you can control, and trust that you have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. A calm mind is a powerful mind, and in the face of pressure, it is your greatest weapon. In moments of pressure, the natural reaction is often panic. But before reacting impulsively, take a step back, breathe, and assess the situation. A deep breath might seem simple, but it gives you the power to regain control. When the mind is calm, solutions become clearer. A rush response often leads to mistakes, while a composed mind allows for strategic thinking. No matter how intense the moment feels, pausing for a few seconds can make all the difference in your ability to handle it. It is easy to get stuck thinking about the problem, but what truly matters is finding the solution. The more you focus on what is wrong, the heavier the pressure feels. Instead, shift your energy toward what can be done. Pressure is like a storm. It may seem overwhelming, but if you keep your eyes on the path instead of the chaos, you will find your way through. The ability to focus on solutions rather than problems is what separates those who crumble under pressure from those who thrive in it. Confidence plays a huge role in staying calm, and true confidence comes from preparation. When you are prepared, your mind is steady even in unexpected situations. Preparation doesn't mean knowing every possible outcome. It means trusting yourself enough to handle whatever comes. The right mindset is just as important as knowledge and skills. If you believe in your ability to adapt and overcome, pressure loses its power over you. Trust in yourself and your efforts, knowing that you have built a strong foundation to face challenges. Challenges are not obstacles, they are stepping stones for growth. Every difficult situation is an opportunity to improve, to test your limits, and to become stronger. If you shift your mindset from seeing pressure as a burden to seeing it as a chance to rise, it will no longer feel like an enemy. Instead of fearing difficult moments, embrace them. They are the very moments that build your character and shape your future success. In high-pressure situations, the initial instinct is often to react immediately. The mind races, emotions surge, and without realizing it, you may find yourself making decisions based on impulse rather than logic. However, the key to maintaining control is to resist this urge and take a moment to breathe. A deep breath may seem insignificant, but it has the power to reset your mind and body. It sends oxygen to your brain, helping you regain clarity and composure. The simple act of breathing deeply slows down your heart rate, reduces stress hormones, and allows you to step out of the chaos of the moment. Once you take that breath, the next step is to pause. Pausing doesn't mean inaction. Rather, it is a strategic break that gives you time to assess the situation before responding. In the heat of pressure, emotions can cloud judgment. Fear, frustration, or anxiety may push you toward rash decisions. But when you pause, you create a space between the stimulus and your response. This space is where rational thinking happens. Instead of reacting out of panic, you can take control of your thoughts and decide on the best course of action. After pausing, assess the situation with a clear mind. What is the real issue at hand? What are the possible solutions? Which approach will have the most favorable outcome? When you assess rather than react, you shift from being controlled by the situation to being in control of it. Perspective is everything. Sometimes, what feels like an overwhelming problem is simply a challenge that requires a step-by-step solution. By analyzing the situation logically, you reduce its emotional weight and make it more manageable. This process of breathing, pausing, and assessing is a habit that can be trained over time. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. It applies to all areas of life, whether you're dealing with a high-stakes business decision, a personal conflict, or an unexpected crisis. The ability to remain calm and think clearly in these moments is what separates those who crumble under pressure from those who rise above it. The next time you find yourself in a stressful situation, remember, breathe, pause, and assess before you react. That single moment of control can change everything. When faced with a challenging situation, it is easy to become consumed by the weight of the problem. The mind naturally fixates on what is going wrong, the obstacles in the way, and the potential negative outcomes. This reaction, while understandable, does not lead to progress. The more you focus on the problem itself, the more overwhelming it feels. The challenge begins to grow in your mind, making it seem insurmountable. Fear and doubt creep in, clouding your ability to think clearly. However, the key to staying calm under pressure is to shift your focus away from the problem and toward the solution. Focusing on the solution means training your mind to ask, what can I do right now? Instead of dwelling on why is this happening? Or what if I fail? Problems will always arise, but what matters most is how you respond to them. By redirecting your thoughts to potential solutions, you regain control over the situation. Instead of feeling powerless, you take proactive steps toward resolving the issue. The moment you shift your mindset from dwelling on the challenge to working on a resolution, the pressure begins to feel lighter. One of the most effective ways to focus on solutions is to break the problem down into smaller, manageable steps. When an issue appears too big, it can be paralyzing. But if you divide it into smaller parts, it becomes easier to tackle. Ask yourself, what is the first step I can take? What resources do I have? Who can I turn to for advice or support? Progress happens one step at a time, and by taking action, even in small ways, you build momentum. A solution-focused mindset also requires adaptability. Sometimes the first idea may not work, but that does not mean failure. It simply means you need to adjust your approach. Flexibility is key under pressure. The ability to pivot, try new strategies, and remain open to alternative solutions increases your chances of success. When you stay focused on solutions instead of problems, you develop resilience. You learn to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than barriers.